Hey guys, it's day 31 after our spring breeding, our first round of spring breeding. I'm hoping to get another one in the next 5 weeks or so. But we saw about a month ago the breeding for the 3 Champagne d'Argent does and the 1 Californian doe who I bred just so that we had an experienced breeder coming into the mix in case of foster or whatever. So yeah, we've got some activity going on. I'm expecting kits today or tomorrow. Again, today being day 31. Usually around here, everybody's around day 32. Let's take a look and see how they're going. So it's 12:30. It's my lunch break, and I decided to come in and give a look at everybody. I had, fed early this morning at 6 o'clock, fed, watered everybody, checked everybody out. They've had nest boxes in for a few days now. And like I said, just came in to check and see how things were progressing. I think Rose is getting ready to deliver here. She looked a little uncomfortable and a little heavy breathing this morning when I fed. And you can see right now we've got some really serious heavy breathing. And if you saw in the beginning there, you might have seen she's pretty heavily pulling fur. You can see her playing with that right now. So I'm not going to stay in here too long and be too disturbing in here. But I thought, while we're here and we had this opportunity to take a look, I'd try and get some footage for people to see and experience more. Because a lot of times we don't see anything. We come out and there's kits in the box or in the nest. And that's all you're ever going to see, which is great. It's a great thing about rabbits is that they're pretty much on their own. But we can see here, again, Rose is not a fan of this nest box, and I kept putting the material back in the box throughout the last few days, but she's made her nest in the corner. I'm not going to keep disturbing that. It's nice and warm today. We're 70 degrees, so I'm just going to keep coming and taking a check on her. I am around. I'm working from home, so I have the opportunity to do that. So I'm going to leave this nest alone here. Like I said, come back out and check in a while, and after they're born I'll get them into that box, and then I really need to make some decisions about replacing these boxes. I just have not come up with a great solution to them yet. So there's Rose. I think she's gonna get going here pretty soon. We'll find out in a bit. Peony up here also has some really great nesting going on. I did stick my hand in there a minute ago. There are not kits in there yet, but we see that nice hollowed out nest that I love to see. The fur lining, she started, and I'm sure she'll pull more after she's done. Hi, Peony. Coming to say hello. And then we've got Lily down here. She's a first-time mom. This looks like a kind of disorganized nest right now. She, very similar to Rose, has been building the nest outside the box, and I kept trying to move it in, and we're just kind of battling each other. So just like Rose, I'm just gonna leave it. I'd rather she have kits in one place in the corner that I can move after again, and just let her go with what she wants to do for right now. So even though this looks kind of disorganized and messy, 1, she's a first-time mom. 2, I did see some pretty solid nesting activity earlier in the week when she first got the box. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be fine, and I'm just going to keep checking on her as well. And then we've got Dandelion down here. She did carve out some nests, but she hasn't done a heck of a lot more. Not too concerned. This is kind of her shtick, kind of how things go. She's usually pretty reliable. I don't really know that she's gonna give birth today. She's just not looking that way to me. Not seeing any fur pulling or whatever. But we'll just keep checking on her too and leave her be. But I don't expect to see much from her today. I'm not really convinced that I'm gonna see much out of Lily today, but it's looking kind of strong for Peony and Rose, but they might also surprise me. This may not be till tomorrow, although we actually have some redness and some blood showing on Peony's back end here. So, and yeah, Rose looks pretty uncomfortable, like she wants to do her thing. Mouthful of fur sitting there. Gonna get out of here, gonna leave him be. do their thing, and we'll come back in later and see, and I'll update you then. Okay, I was totally wrong. I put my lunch in the microwave and I thought, you know, why would she have blood on her back end if she hadn't had any birthing activity? Came back in to check this out, and she does. She's got kits right here in the front of the box. When I reached in, I was trying not to disturb her too much, so I reached to the back where she made that nice burrow there. But there are kits right here, all in the box, which is lovely. I am gonna boost them to the back. 1, 2, 3. There's another down here. That's 4. Don't feel any more. I need to come in there and clean out some of those shavings. It does seem like a fair amount of moisture in there, but I'm going to give them their fur. So that looks like 4 for Peony this round. Tuck them in there. Come back and check again a little later as we're checking on Rose and the others. So that's 4 for Peony. Good job, Mom. In the box, also very nice. Sure, she wants me to get out of here and leave her babies alone, so I'm gonna do that, and we'll check back in with the others later. So I just came out to close up for the night, and this is what Rose is doing. To my knowledge, she hasn't had any kits yet, but that might be what she's piling up and covering up there. I don't know. I literally just walked out here. I did check her a while ago, and there were no kits there then. Looks like she's pulling an awful lot of fur. So, good chance there's some kits in there. I may leave her be and come back out in a few minutes. But, you know, again, you know, these are parts of the process we don't always get to see because they tend to be so quiet and independent about it. But neat when we get a look. So I thought, snap some videos following along. And not be too much of a pain in her side, but I'm gonna let her do her thing for a few minutes. I'll come back out, check on her after. I don't want to get in the middle of whatever it is she is trying to accomplish here, whether she's lining that nest to get ready to give birth or she's covering a stack of kits that maybe she had. Yeah, so let her do her thing and come check, because I really don't want them out of the box all night. So we'll, you know, come out and see what's what. I'm not seeing much going on with Lily. That's her nest. Looks like she's been in there kind of reorganizing a little bit in that nest outside the box. You know, again, I'll check her when I come back out too, and we're really not seeing anything from Dandelion, which you know, no big shakes. It's only day 31, and like I said, typically day 32 is the time when I see most of my does give birth. But I think I'll top off some feed for these does, get out of Rose's hair, and come back and check in a few, and if there's anything to report, I'll take a little more video then. So it's now about 9:30 at night. Just came out to check on Rose here before I go to bed. And yes, there are babies in her nest, and you can see she's all chilled out, done with what she's doing, munching on some hay in here. There are babies in her nest that she made outside the box. I am going to try and move those in there before I head in for the night. I won't be able to video that because I just don't have enough hands. And I'll check around her cage, make sure that they're all together and everything looks good. Top up with her water before I go to bed. But so, you know, I know that we've got some success. I've put my hand in there. Oh, we can see a little leg down here poking out. There's one there. So I'm going to check through those guys, get them in, see what's what there. Update again in the morning. Don't see anything going on over here with Lily. So we'll check her in the morning and Dandelion as well. But for today, I know we've at least have some success here with the champagnes. I'll get a better idea after I get in and move this nest and see what's going on.